Welcome back to the last part of the assembly process of the Ravemachine build series. In this part we will finish up the electronics and attach it to the speakers and close everything up. So after this video you will be able to play music on your new build Ravemachine. If you haven't already, now is the last time to program the ESP32. So if you haven't already, it's now time to upload WLED to your ESP32. I've already done that, so let's continue with the build. The next thing we will need is this speaker cable for the amplifier. We just plug it in. I will save myself some cable mess and cut it a bit shorter. Now there are always two that are for one speaker. On the PCB there are markings which pin corresponds to which speaker. This side is for the left speaker and this side is for the right speaker. So we will connect this to the speaker on the right and this to the speaker on the left. I will now take a piece of tape and mark the negative terminals so that I can know which one is the negative when I connect the speakers. So now I have marked the terminals of the speakers here with some tape, and now I will attach this middle plate to one of the speakers. I will start with the right speaker. First I attach the speaker cables to the corresponding negative and positive terminals. In this case the negative is the one here on the left. It's always the negative ones that are marked. Depending on your speaker, you may have to pay attention what terminal is negative and what terminal is positive. Now I connect one of the LEDs. Now we can attach the middle plate to the side. So this is just for now. Normally you would put the top plate on there, but so you can see it from the top what I do around here, and you can follow up. So now we have to do some wiring magic and put this on this side so we can attach the second speaker later. And then we also need that one on this side, like that. And now we can attach this to the front. With some tinkering you can get all the cables to fit into the front. So now I will just put this on its side and see that all the right cables are on the right place. So a bit of tinkering here and a bit of tinkering there, and you will be able to fit everything where it should go. Now you can fit the bottom plate to the assembly and give it some stability. Just like that, it's starting to take shape. So, if you haven't done already, now is the time to plug in your antenna cable, because now it's the last time that you will reach it. Now the antenna is connected. The next task is to connect the BMS. So now we take the BMS, turn this on its side. We see a lot of connections. Those are all battery outputs. This will be our power input. So battery outputs, power input. And here are our power LED and our charge LED. We will use these connectors, and we will use this connector. In the end, it will be mounted like this inside the system. First we plug in the power. There are no batteries connected yet, so there's no power going to the system right now. So, step 1. Then we connect our LEDs. Red is for charging, so it will light up when it charges. And green will be for power, so it will light up when it is connected to the grid, like to a charger. And this will make sense in the end, you will see. So, and now we have to connect the input for the charger. This is up here, so there's one for solar charging and one for DC charging. We take the one for DC charging and then we push these connectors in. Just be careful that you really push those in. You have to be a bit careful with those connectors. I've used mine a few times and now it is already broken. So, but it's still holding up. It's just the plastic bit that is broken, so it doesn't hold us up at all. So now that we have connected this, we connect the BMS to the back board. First, you need this printed button and just put it in there. Make sure it fits well and is like a bit loose, and then we just put this on like that. Now the BMS is installed. You can check the function of the button and see if everything is aligned and well. So I've just tested the button, it's alright. So now I can continue the assembly. The next step is to put in the batteries. So you just have to be careful so that you are doing it in the right polarity. The polarities are marked on there in the cases, and the polarity of these cells is like where the ring is positive and the flat end is negative, like your normal AA batteries. So now your battery is installed. Now is the time to loosen up those screws again and install the top plate so we can have some added stability when we turn this thing around. I will take those cables and I will put them inside of there a bit so that they're out of the way. Just be careful not to interfere with the button or the LEDs so you can still see the charging light and everything. Now we turn this thing on the side and add the screws on the bottom. If you have everything in place and everything is alright, it's time to add the second speaker. So first we will connect the speaker terminals that we have marked before. So the negative one is the one with the tape on it, and the negative one in this case is the one with the black markings. Oh, seems like it's in there good. We have to move those two closer together to get to the connector of the LEDs. So now the LEDs are connected as well. And now we can just see if we can fit those cables like right there and move those two pieces closer and closer together. If you can't get it to fit, just remove the top plate again. Now the two halves are fit together. It's probably better to leave this off until you have joined the two halves together, or it can get very hard to join the two halves. But now you can just push those things to the side. Now that we have aligned the two halves, we can screw in the top plate. So now you should have all screws installed on the top. Now we can take the speaker and very carefully put it on its back. You have to be really careful, especially on the left side, because it is only held on by these few 3D printed parts. Now we put in the rest of the screws on the left side on the bottom. Depending on how good of a worker you are, like how accurate you are, you should have no problem assembling this speaker. Now we will start with reinforcing the speaker so it doesn't only hold up with the 3D printed parts. I will put the speaker on its top so I can screw this into the bottom. I know this is a bit close, but this is the farthest I can go out. I will mount the plate right between those screws with as much screws as possible. So I will probably mount it right here so I can get 4 screws on each side. So, and this reinforces it like the first time, and the other reinforcement is the handle. But on this occasion we also will mount the feet of the speaker. I will do that and I will show it to you. Now I've also mounted the feet on the speaker. Now I can turn it back around and show you that I've added the plate and the feet to the speaker. So now I turn it upright again and add the handle over the center of gravity. Now we've added the handle to the top of the speaker. Now the build is pretty much finished. The only thing that is still missing is to activate the speaker. For this potentiometer knob, you can either print yourself some knob, or I will use one that I've already got from like buying some stuff. So, and now to activate the Ravemachine for the first time, we have to plug in a USB-C charger. This allows current to pass through the BMS and activate the whole system. Now we see the speaker is actually charging and it's powered with USB. And now you can turn it on the first time and take a listen to it. You can do that by yourself. I will enjoy my music. The next step is to configure the LEDs and then be happy. If you like this series, make sure to subscribe and watch the follow-up video if you have the light show to get your LEDs set up right. If you're only building the speaker itself, then you have done it. You can now listen to music. Enjoy your music and enjoy your speaker. I hope you leave a comment if you like your project. Thank you all for staying with me that long and bearing with my bad English. If you have any suggestions or questions, please ask them below. Until then, take care.